reason, logical, rational. These words seem to define many people today, and they base their existences on living a logical life, or living a rational life, or living a life based on reason, an intellectual existence, a scientific existence, an existence based on what they call facts. Show me the proof, they say. And they base everything on their observations, empirical methods. This is why we have all the scopes, the telescopes, the microscopes, the endoscopes, and all the various gadgets and gizmos to see with the physical eye, to hear with the physical ear, to touch and taste, and all the five senses, the gratification of them. See, my friends, I'm not here to deny the word rational. I'm not here to deny the word logical. I'm not here to deny the word scientific. I'm not here to deny the word reason. But I'm here to tell you that just as man has used these physical words with their own definition, and the spirit behind those definitions, they have yielded to them. Here I am also to tell you that the Spirit of God also uses the word rational, also uses the word logical, also uses the word scientific, also uses the word reason. The only difference is these words are submitted to the Spirit of God. So, when I tell you that it is rational for God to heal an incurable disease, to those that have submitted to the other words with other spirits who say that is not logical, that is not rational, there is no proof for that. You see, but you see, we who call ourselves believers, we're not led by those spirits. So we use the same words, except it's in adherence with our own beliefs and our own ideas and what we follow in the Spirit of God. So when I tell somebody, when somebody does me wrong and I forgive him, everybody will tell me, no, why did you let that person get away? You should have done this and you should have done that. You see, it is not logical for them. It's not rational behavior. But for me, it is rational behavior. And it's logical, because this is what Jesus would do. So, because they don't follow whom I follow, it's illogical. You see, and they go around forcing their beliefs on people, using these words rational and logical. And if they're non-believers, I can't say anything really to them except offer them mercy, and the mercy is through Jesus Christ, you see. But unfortunately, we have many Christians who also follow the same practices, you see. And they define their word logic and rational and all these different things from the wisdom of the world. And so they are run by those things, you see. And the Spirit of God is not in charge of the definition of their words. And it doesn't fill their words, you see, with the substance that should back their words. And neither do they have any experiences in those things, because they don't adhere to them. They don't live by them. They don't follow them. You see, they trust in the science of the world. They trust in the logic of the world. They trust in the rational behavior of the world. They try and prove the infinite with the finite. They try and use carbon dating to prove God. They try and use all these physical methods to prove God, who is spirit. You see, it's a failure and it's a laughing stock. You can't do that. You cannot do that, my friends. We have to be submitted to the Spirit of God. Then when somebody in the world says to you, hey, why should I believe in that? I say, no, you don't have to believe in it. It's what I believe in. But you still be good to that person. You still be kind to him. And when if there's any problem with them in their life, and maybe their daughter is sick, or somebody is sick, or something is going on, you pray for them, and God heals them. What are they going to do then? Then they're going to be forced to reconcile this in their soul. How did this happen? They healed my son, my daughter, the doctors failed. You see, but this, it makes me and you even more of a requirement for us to sanctify ourselves before Jesus. He doesn't give his power to people who are just, not ready for it. We have to prepare ourselves for this. Paul said, it's not just a word, but it's in power. You see, we have to have the power of Jesus. You see, in order to be able to, Jesus said, if you don't believe my word, believe for the very works that I do. You see, the works that he did, he healed people. They had to force. Then they said, he does it by Beelzebub. You see, so they couldn't really, it was not logical stuff. It was irrational. How did this woman get resurrected from the dead? Now, because these things don't happen in our society the way they should, because our faith is in carnal things, it's in worldly measures and worldly definitions. You see, this is why we don't see angels coming. We don't have miraculous healings, and if we do, a lot of them are shams, or they are done by other spirits. You see. So my whole thing is that we need to submit to the Spirit of God, and then all our words become submitted to the Spirit of God. Then our English language doesn't derive its definition from the spirits that run English language, but by the Spirit of God. You see? So we don't take the word, all these words, and then fill them with the substance that the world fills them with. So when you say, well, that's rational, then we define it by the way the world calls the word rational. You see? No, rational behavior to us believers is to rely on the Spirit of God. He says God is a mysterious God. So we don't know his ways. We have to seek out his ways. God doesn't show you what you want. God shows you who he is when you have faith in him, when you wait on him, when you seek after him. You see? People say, well, this is a fact, it's proven. Well, how long does that fact exist? Until it is disproven. The problem with human beings is that they're temporary. When was all books had to be rewritten when Einstein's theories came into effect, when they began to be recognized. And when will Einstein's theories be broken? It's a matter of time. You see, I'm not here to try to sound intelligent and all these things, but the truth is that human beings are very temporary. That's the problem. That's the sin. We think about now. We don't think of eternal words. You see? We don't, and then if we think of eternal words, we have to go to the eternal word, who is Jesus Christ, the living eternal word, and who gave us an everlasting gospel. You see? And we don't go to the Spirit of God to be defined, to soak our spirits into and submerge ourselves in the Spirit of God, that he may give us guidance. Guidance sometimes we don't understand with our conscious minds. You see? So, my friends, let's start defining these words. Get them defined by the Spirit of God. What is rational to the Spirit of God? What is logical to the Spirit of God? What is science to the Spirit of God? What is philosophy to the Spirit of God? All these things, human beings, they just fall victim to things that they don't never want to really understand themselves, but they sound good. You see? And so they follow them. And then because they have some kind of temporary cure, temporary belief, temporary solution, then we put our belief in them. And then when they fail, see, we have to wait till we're 70 years old, 80, 90. And then we start realizing that, oh man, now I can't do this, I can't do, oh Lord, help me. We don't have to wait till then, you know. We can start doing things now. You see, but it will alienate you, it will separate you. Definitely. Definitely. And that's one of the prices. You become a stranger and a pilgrim, you know. But at the same token, you know, you begin to understand and you begin to receive of the kingdom of God, which is going to confound everything that this world can give you. So I think it's worth it, my friends.